All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into the legend and the reality of what is arguably the ultimate and, frankly, slightly dangerous party cocktail, the zombie.
Now you might be wondering, how on earth does a drink get a name like the zombie? I mean, it sounds a bit intimidating, right? Well, that's completely by design. Legend has it this beast was originally whipped up to help a very hungover customer get through a business meeting. But instead of perking him up, the guy later claimed the drink literally made him feel like the living dead. It's just a fantastic piece of mixology lore, and honestly, it sets the perfect stage for what we're tackling today. To really appreciate this concoction, we've got to time travel back to 1930s Los Angeles. Entered Don Beach, the absolute godfather of tiki culture, and founder of the legendary Don the Beachcomber bar. The zombie was his baby, but here's the thing, he didn't just hand out the recipe. No way. It was a fiercely guarded secret relying on this highly specific, delicately balanced blend of mysterious syrups, juices, and rums. Fast forward to today, though, and it's totally transcended those secretive origins. It's rightfully earned a permanent spot on basically every must-try cocktail list in the world.
So let's pull back the curtain on Don's secret formula. Spoiler alert, this is not your quick two-ingredient pour. Crafting a proper zombie is officially rated as hard difficulty. We're talking a solid 5 minutes of focused work per serving. To pull this off, you need an absolute arsenal of ingredients to blend those sweet, sour, and spicy notes into one wild, cohesive profile.
Okay, here's the complete breakdown for just one serving. First up, the rums. Yep, plural. We're not just using one. You need 45 milliliters of a clean, dry, light rum. Pair that with 45 milliliters of gold rum for a mellow, rounded body, and then hit it with 30 milliliters of dark rum to bring in that rich, deep flavor. Next, we build our tropical base. 30 milliliters each of fresh pineapple and papaya juices. Quick side note, if you can't find papaya, just sub in some extra pineapple. It's totally fine. Add 25 milliliters of freshly squeezed lime juice to that. Finally, the accents. 15 mils of apricot brandy for a classic fruity kick, 15 mils of grenadine for that gorgeous color and sweetness, and just a dash, literally like 2 drops of Angostura bitters.
Now, nestled among all these ingredients is the absolute secret weapon of tiki drinks, falernum. You're going to need 15 milliliters of this stuff. If you don't know it, it's a Caribbean syrup that marries lime, almond, and warm spices like clove and ginger. It essentially acts as the glue here. It binds those bright tropical juices and heavy rums together, adding just this incredible depth and complexity. But hey, if you're raiding your pantry right now and realizing, I'm completely out of falernum, don't panic. You can still make this. A super accessible substitute is just taking regular simple syrup and doctoring it up with a dash of allspice or ginger. Is it an exact match for the traditional syrup? Well, no, but does it work in a pinch? Absolutely. It keeps that essential spicy undertone alive and keeps your mixology session on track.
All right, before we start pouring, let's do a quick hardware check. Because of the sheer volume of ingredients here, precision is absolutely critical. You are definitely going to need a good cocktail shaker to get everything chilled and integrated. A jigger is pretty much non-negotiable. You've got to measure out those exact milliliters so you don't overdo the booze. You'll also need a hawthorn strainer, a bar spoon for our dramatic grand finale, and ideally, a nice tall zombie glass to serve the whole shebang in. Okay, the armory is stocked. Let's get mixing. First, load your shaker up with ice. Then, start building your base. Toss in the light, golden dark rums, followed by your vibrant tropical juices, the apricot brandy, grenadine, falernum, and that single dash of bitters. Now for the fun part, give it a really vigorous shake for a solid 15 seconds. You want to wake those ingredients up and get the mixture freezing cold. Next, grab that hawthorn strainer and pour this beautiful, frosty concoction into your tall glass, filling it right to the brim with crushed ice. And then, we reach the grand finale. Let's actually slow down a second and zoom in on that 5th step, because this is the defining climax of the zombie, the number 151. Specifically, 15 milliliters of 151 proof overproof rum. Now, pay attention here. You do not shake this in with the rest of the drink. Instead, you carefully float it right on top by pouring it gently over the back of your bar spoon. It's highly traditional, and it gives the drink this dramatic kick and a really unique aroma that hits your nose right before you take a sip.
Now, because we are dealing with 151 proof rum, I've got to give you a crucial safety warning. Overproof rum is highly flammable. You might have seen fancy tiki bartenders lighting this float on fire for a cool theatrical presentation, but please, leave the pyrotechnics to the professionals. Seriously, unless you want your living room to actually look like a real zombie apocalypse, just enjoy the aromatic float as it is. No open flames required, guys. And honestly, you can even reduce or skip the float entirely if you want a slightly less intense experience.
To complete this masterpiece, we need the perfect garnish. You'll want a sprig of fresh mint, an orange slice, and a classic cherry. And listen, this isn't just about making the drink look pretty for Instagram. The garnish is actually functional. As you bring that tall glass up to take your first sip, the fresh mint and the citrus oils from the orange hit you with this massive burst of fresh aroma. It completely elevates the whole tasting experience.
So looking at everything crammed into this glass, it's definitely worth addressing the elephant in the room. Why is the zombie so intensely strong? I mean, we're talking about a truly legendary reputation for potency here. Back in the day, authentic tiki bars would strictly limit their customers to a maximum of 2 zombies per night. 2. And the answer is just the sheer volume of spirits. You've got 1.5 ounces of light rum, 1.5 ounces of gold, 1 ounce of dark, 1/2 ounce of apricot brandy, plus that crazy overproof float.
But the real danger of the zombie isn't just the sheer volume of alcohol. It's the fact that those layers of tropical fruit and warm spices perfectly mask the booze. It tastes sweet, sour, complex, and dangerously smooth. It goes down way too easy. That is exactly why it is absolutely vital that you sip this one responsibly. Oh, and for those keeping track, each serving clocks in at an estimated 275 calories, so it's packing a massive amount of flavor and energy into a single glass.
Now, what if you're hosting a party and you have friends who want to experience this legendary tiki complexity, but, they'd prefer not to feel like the living dead the next morning? Can you actually pull off a non-alcoholic version of the zombie that still captures that magic? Absolutely. For sure you can.
To create a phenomenal zero-proof zombie, you simply swap out the entire rum blend and the apricot brandy for a rich mix of tropical juices. Think passion fruit, maybe some mango puree, and definitely an extra dose of pineapple juice to replace the liquid volume. Pair all that with your fresh lime, the grenadine, the fullernume, and some non-alcoholic bitters, and wow! You get all those bold, complex, sweet and sour tiki flavors, completely skipping the legendary punch. It's just a fantastic way to make sure everyone's included in the fun. So whether you're meticulously floating that 151 proof rum over a mountain of crushed ice, or you're shaking up a vibrant fruit-forward mocktail version, you now possess the closely guarded secrets of Don Beach's 1930s masterpiece. You understand the delicate balance of the rums, why the fresh juices are non-negotiable, and the absolute magic that is Falaniurum. Which leaves me with just one final question for you. Armed with all this new mixology knowledge, who are you going to serve this legendary living dead concoction to at your next party?